Hotep, Black Power. It's your brother Shaka saying Kofa here. Street Law Soldiers. As always, giving honor to the Creator and the ancestors. Giving honor to my sister, who is in her ancestral realm right now, along with Chief of Staff, Street Law Soldiers, Brother Harris Abdul, and to a sister, Annie Holland, who is a sister of Sergeant Robert Burgess of the Street Law Soldiers, and to my father, my in-laws, to all my relatives and brothers and sisters that have made that transition and the ascension into the ancestral realm. May you all rest in power and continue to provide us with energy to keep us going on this plane here. And also peace and blessings to you brothers and sisters that are tuned in, as well as my subscribers to Shaka Sands Kofa's YouTube channel. What I want to talk about today, one of the things I want to talk about is the situation with Colin Kapernick. You know, he's still a free agent after over 60 days. And I need that. Let me just get down to the meat and potatoes of this issue. I need not even to have to explain to you all why he's still a free agent in over 60 days. That's because of the stance that Colin Kaepernick took in terms of being a true warrior and a true revolutionary and an NFL quarterback. And a lot of you brothers, you know, you coon ass faggot niggas, that's why I call it the National Faggot League, the NFL. You know, the National Faggot Fuckboy League. And let me be clear, this is not to all of you brothers that play football for the National Fuckboy League. It's just the masses of you, the bulk of you motherfucking fuckboys. You know, a lot of y'all are locker room, dick bandits and butt bandits and all that shit, But you can run 100 yards, 200 yards a game, to keep the focus off of you of being a motherfucking, a meat eater. But, however, Colin Kaepernick has taken a stand as a man, as a revolutionary, and he's not cocky or anything, because he refused to stand up to the national anthem, which represents war and bloodshed and the destruction of murder and mayhem of all people, all non-white people. Francis Scott Key, who was an open homosexual, wrote the national anthem or the Star Spangled Banner or whatever, the Star Fangled Banner. He wrote that while he was hiding in a damn room, probably with another man when he wrote it, during the war at Fort McHenry in Baltimore, Maryland. So, nevertheless, Colin Kaepernick refused to stand for the national anthem. So, he was criticized, and what they do, these Jew boys send the goddamn, they send the coons after them. They send the nigger coons. Ray Lewis, Charles Barkley, Stephen A. Smith, in which it is 2017, Charles Barkley still talks like a slave. He still can't talk clear, clear English. I think that's the damn thing that, Colin Kaepernick ain't standing for a national anthem and shit. I think that's a damn shame. I think it's a damn shame. You know. He is a real goddamn coon. Him and his white bitch. His wife. And Colin Kapernick is not only that on the field. He's just not about, that shit, on the field. It just wasn't about a show with him. His heart is into the liberation and salvation of black people. He's gave over $1 million in aid to Somalia. He's placed racks of tailor-made suits in front of the parole and probation office building in New York to give brothers that are coming out of these prisons and jails, a decent suit to wear, to go on job searches and the like, or, to weddings or funerals or whatever. But it'd be more likely they'll be going to a funeral before they go for a job interview, because it's not designed. This country is not designed to hire the black man, not on a corporate level anyway. However, he spoke out against Hillary and Donald Trump. And he's still a free agent after 60 days, after 2 months. Now, don't get me wrong, he's not the only one that hasn't been signed. RG3 and a host of other people have not been signed as well. But I'm just stating the situation in terms of Colin Kaepernick, in particularly, why I believe that he hasn't been picked up yet. Because he still has a lot of good play in him. And that lets you know how this thing is about, this is high-tech slavery. Because when he was throwing that ball up and down the field and picking that cotton, and San Francisco taking him to the promised land, he was the shit then. So that's just an example of how they do our brothers. And I want to share something. Me and the Queen were together. We were at a traffic light. And this motherfucker, it was two crackers, two old white homosexuals. They were inebriated. And the big one, he comes to the car, and, wants to know some directions on how to get to some club. I guess some old clubs, cocksucking club down in downtown in D.C. somewhere. And, and he's, am I going to get shot? And, hopefully, I'm not going to be the one, though. Hopefully you will. However, after we gave him the directions, and he was talking about his boyfriend. Oh, he's from Germany, and, who gives a fuck, man? Move the fuck out of the way. Then he attempts to open my motherfucking back door, and that's when he was getting ready to get smashed, and the light had changed, and, he kind of snapped out of that shit, and took off. He was about to get smashed, but, back in my old criminal behavior days, he would have I would have let him in, him and the other faggot, and took them to the club, or rode them past the club and took them to an isolated area. You probably would never have heard anything from them ever. However, I have other missions to that I'm on besides that shit, because there's gonna come a time where war is coming to this country at an escalating scale, and the color of our skin gonna be our uniforms, until we have a national outbreak and war. I'm gassing up for that, and And I wanted to share something with you all briefly, you know, if you don't mind. You know, remember when I shared with you all about Brother Burgess, whose sister Annie Holland made her ascension on Thursday. And I just want to take a moment to send some energy to the ancestral realm, that the ancestors may embrace her and bring her in the fold, and to also from not only the street law family, you know, but the black power families, the conscious communities, so-called conscious communities, the African, Afrocentric, and the revolutionary families all across the board, you know, on behalf of Shaka Sankofa and the street law soldiers, we would like to send our condolences to the Burgess family. You know, Brother Burgess is a officer of the street law soldiers, you know, and his sister Annie Holland, you know, was preceded in her passing by her husband Reggie Holland, and Trinity, who is actually her niece, but she raised her from basically birth. And she was a very powerful sister, very special, you know, and she had a lot of good gifts. She had a loving heart. She's very giving, you know, had a passion for happiness, you know, and was very, very family oriented. So personally, I would not see it being a problem where the ancestors will, you know, embrace her, as far as her, you know, her father and cousins and friends who preceded her. And just wanted to take the time to show, you know, that Shaka Sankofa and the street law soldiers, we are a powerful group, a powerful movement of people that we recognize, and we love the people that are close to us and the people that are in our circles, as well as our soldiers. So once again, on behalf of Shaka Sankofa and the street law soldiers and all the other black power communities, we would like to send our deepest condolences and sincere sympathetic energies to the Burgess families. Send our hoteps and our black powers to Sister Annie Holland. You know, may she have a peaceful journey. May she rest in power and provide us with energy and insight in the future. Peace. Let's talk about these ex-offenders for a second. You know, when I mentioned that Colin Kapernick gave a lot of racks of tailored suits to ex-offenders, you know, that's a blessing for a lot of our brothers that are coming home, returning home, that have been incarcerated, to have a suit to wear. And you know, the ex-offenders, you know, these, you know, our brothers, you know, I was once in that position myself, you know, with no resources to plug into, you know, and you've been in an environment where you had to watch people being maimed, tortured, murdered, you know, learning how to maim yourself, you know, to learning how to take a man's eye out of his head and, you know, watch his bones break with the crack of a knife going through his body. Watching people being set on fire and the like, you know, and then spending years in these cages to come home to be literally, you know, and mentally spat on, you know, for not being able to, you know, to progress like the rest of the people that have been out here, you know, that haven't had the misfortune of getting involved in or catching a criminal charge. So, you know, we need to develop some programs and have some things set up out here for our brothers when they return. You know, like in California, you know, they give a couple of $100 and I think they provide you with a room or something. But in most states, the majority of the country doesn't do that. You know, and if a brother can come home, you know, with a substantial amount of money in his pocket, you know, as well as have somewhere to stay until they on their feet, and save money to get a bank account and get a vehicle and the like, then that individual may have a shot at becoming a productive member of society once again, and able to be whatever, a good father, a good son, a good brother, you know, a good uncle or good nephew. You know, so if these resources aren't available, then, you know, it's like throwing a damn football in the elephant's mouth at 100 yards. It's just, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. And no matter, you know, how strong you may think you are, you know, but the elements of the earth will at some point dominate your thinking. In other words, if you get out in the midst of winter and have nowhere to go, that snow is going to drive you to do something to find some type of shelter, even if it takes taking someone's life. So what do we do? Because we sit back and just criticize. And the system is designed this way. Don't get it twisted. It's designed for failure. To keep, that's what's called the recidivism rate. The average brother that comes home doesn't stay home no longer than 3 years before he catches another charge, or is already back in on a violation within a 36-month period. And that's 85 to 90% of the brothers that are incarcerated when they do get released. And those are statistics coming from the Department of Justice. You know, which they don't have a problem in putting that high percentage out there, which is true, because it's a negative, it's a negative connotation, it's a negative peg into the black man's board to assist the public in condemning and turning their backs on the brothers that are coming home or that have prior records. Like you can never, what's the use of attempting to do something right if they won't allow you based on a past history? That's not the present, that's the past. So, that's the only thing that's inexcusable in society today, in terms of the corporate structure and the even in the private sector today, is they want to ensure that the black male does not get on his feet, where he's able to once again take his place back on the throne and being the man of the house, being a good father, being a good husband, being a good son, a nephew or uncle or whatever. Because they train these sisters, if these brothers don't have such and such and such and such, don't give them nothing. Don't allow them, disrespect them. Because all these sisters, I don't need a man long as I got Jesus. You know how insane that shit sounds? To say long as I have someone that never existed, then I don't need anyone that has existed or that is existing. That's some sick shit. If you really want to get technical, because I've reached the point where I'm not going to sit around and keep compromising my truth based on concrete evidence and research that none of these motherfuckers ever existed. And I'm not going to keep playing like that they have existed for the sake of making my people feel comfortable, but at the same time I'm killing them. Fuck that. You know, the truth is the truth. Because a lot of you sisters don't have problems, you know, because since you believe in something that never existed, something that's fake, and in turn you dress up fake. Fake hair, fake nails, fake eyebrows, fake stilettos to fake somebody out. To get some attention. But you don't need a man. So what are you putting all this shit on for? You're starting to look like a drag queen now. You know, so, you know, this ex-offender thing, you know, then they have these little small programs where they only hire maybe 10, you know, and they look at them like charity cases. You know, give them a youth summer job salary. And something has to be done about that. And that's part of the system of racism, white supremacy. And so they'll tell you to go to church and pray to, now once again, to some non-existent deities to get some employment. It's not going to work. And then the Urban League, which is a black corporation, has a housing program where it's only for women and children. Black men are not allowed, not even allowed on the property. But they're supposed to be a black organization designed to build black families. That's not building black families. Now let me flip this. Now you have a lot of brothers out here now that all they do is smoke trees, smoke this treated chemical marijuana and that K2 shit. Sit on the couch, eat Hot Pockets all motherfucking day, and play Xbox and texting on the phone all motherfucking day. Your hygiene ain't up to par. Your dreads smell like sour milk. You stink. Your fucking feet stink. You don't clean up. You don't assist with anything but the destruction of that system. I'm not talking to you brothers. I mean, I'm not talking to the brothers that get out here and they make an all-out effort to try to make some changes. You know, even the brothers that even have to turn to the underworld at a certain point to feed their families. I understand that. Even though I'm against that, I still understand it. I still totally understand it. Because any man will do anything or do what it has to do to feed his family. Now, let me check this out. Now, I'm not talking about those families who are able to eat, but you want to sell crack and poison the community so you can be dressed up. No, I'm not talking about that. I know the young generation, I know they want the finer things in life and they deserve them, just like all other races of their babies and young teenagers, you know, they get the finer things in life. So I'm not saying that, but I'm saying don't kill your neighbors and your brothers and sisters at their expense. At the expense of for you to be able to go to Shoe City and get the newest fucking shoe out. You know, I'm not, but at the same time, once again, like I said, I will do anything to feed my family, even if I have to go to the underworld. So I just want to be clear. I just want to be clear about that, so people can understand that I'm no prayer book and walking prayer book and nothing of that sort. Because it can happen to any of us at any given day. Any given day. The lies that they have, the lies that they tell us, the tricks that they give us. Like when I was talking about Colin Kapernick, as far as, those who stand up for us, those in sports. And I'm not even going to go all the way back to Muhammad Ali. I'll just start in the 80s and 90s with Craig Hodges, who was the highest three-point shooter who played for the Bulls when they won their championship with Michael Jordan. When they were invited to the White House, Craig Hodges whispered in Michael Jordan's ear that no matter how much they praising you and got you celebrating you and you Mr. Air Jordan and all this shit, you still are a nigga to them. And they'll show you, all you have to do is slow down on production. And apparently the Secret Service overheard it. And, before the end of the day, within a 2-week period, Craig Hodges was released from the Bulls unconditionally. And it said that Michael Jordan went back and told Phil Jackson, which I truly believe that, he would do something like that. This red-eyed motherfucking coon, who's one of the highest investors in CCA, Corrections Corporations of America, to ensure, ensure that the prison industrial complex continue to stay on the rise. Y'all had to excuse me. I had a very, very important situation, so it just took my train of thought off the subject matter. But however, I'm just going to skip and I'm going to go into the Craig Hodges situation when he was released, and Michael Jordan being ensuring the prison industrial complex, that the stocks remain high so that he can, live large off the blood of his own brothers and sisters who are incarcerated. Because the more that are incarcerated, the more wealthier Michael Jordan gets. And some of these people that are doing hard time were some of the most diehard Michael Jordan fans, and some still are, because some can't believe or don't want to accept that he is largely responsible when you get transferred from one prison to another. The privatization process, that when you are transferred to another prison and being placed somewhere with someone of a different race, that different race dominates the entire prison, which puts you in harm's way. No one, a lot of people don't believe that he is the fucking black piece of shit coon that he is. And that's just, it's several of our athletes and entertainers that have stood up. Richard Pryor, Muhammad Ali, and then it's no coincidence that they were the two most outspokenest people during the 70s and 80s, and then they became the Walking Dead, walking around shaking. That's no coincidence. Anyone that speaks out ends up fucked up or dead. I'm quite sure a lot of y'all, I'm not even gonna go into, the details of that. Even the people that y'all don't believe that have been, murdered, such as Heavy D. See, everybody think Heavy D just, weight problem and all this type of shit played a role in, his heart, and all this type of shit. But That's not the, that wasn't the situation.
America provided the atmosphere.
When Heavy D went on the BET Awards and he outdanced and performed everybody, and he was asked backstage, was he coming back to the music world? And he stated no, because he said they gave me an ultimatum, choose one or the other, and he was more prone to choose acting. And so he was asked, when you talk about they, who is they? And he straight up said the Illuminati. Within hours, he was in the hospital with supposedly pneumonia. On his way about to be released, but he didn't have pneumonia. The doctor said, let me just make my rounds to the other patients to check on them. When he got back to Heavy, he was dead. You know, this shit is no accident or no coincidence. You know, and you know, and when we look at our history of our heroes and sheroes, the history and herstory, you know, especially I did a video on, Underground. The show Underground. And the sister, you know, does a magnificent job playing Harriet Tubman. Very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Because a lot of people really don't know Harriet Tubman. They you know, they think they know who she was, but really they don't know who she was. You know, how she spoke, what her rules were, how far she traveled, that the Underground Railroad wasn't no goddamn train, that, you know, she carried opiates, she chewed tobacco, she kept 2 pistols, big 45s, you know, and you know, how she had to murder, you know, blow her husband's head off. See, they don't want to tell you the revolutionary Harriet Tubman, just like they don't tell you the revolutionary Martin King. The New Testament Martin King was a revolutionary. And I did a video on that as well. But for those who have subscribed to me, my subscribers, you all know, you know, the work I put in and you know, in doing these videos. You know, that some, you know, refuse to do any work. You know, you have a lot of people that enjoy doing nothing. They don't want to put in any work into becoming conscious, but they want to reap the benefits of consciousness. And it doesn't work like that, because this is an individual thing. So, it was something else I wanted to discuss. The 15-year-old brother, the boy that was murdered in Texas, shot by a pig. Another pig shoots a baby, another baby. And let me explain to you, motherfuckers, so-called G's, what's going to happen. The pig is going to go on administrative leave with pay. They're going to do a press conference. You're going to have all the coons plugging in. Al Sharpton, he's going to put his 4-inch thick 4x12 motherfucking pork chop down. He's going to put that down for a minute and get his secretaries, after he wiped the animal pus and blood and gravy off his goddamn lip, mixed with the, you know, the activator dripping out his fucking perm on the meat. He's gonna wipe his mouth and he's gonna call his secretaries to see if this baby's family has enough money to pay for the funeral. That's how he gets in the door. And so once he's in the door, he writes the $10,000 check to cover the funeral expenses. But also that covers the National Action Asshole Network, the banner to be placed behind the podium when he makes the speech, because he does all the talking from now on. He only allows the family to talk for 1 minute. He takes over from there. His lawyers come into play. So this is what happens. If there's no outcry, because the cracker, what the pig does, he goes to internal affairs, the police union, the fraternal order. See, all them work together. So they go ahead and get him coached, get him prepped up. Tell him what to say and what not to say. So by the time the trial gets here, they get an all-white jury in Texas, find him not guilty. They see if the victim, the boy, has had any type of criminal record. If he doesn't, they'll focus on the police, how stressed out he is, and he can't sleep since that happened, and all this old bullshit. Then the book deal comes. He writes the book, about being trauma on taking a life and all this old shit. To kill a nigga or something. Then a Lifetime buys the rights to the book. Then a Lifetime movie comes out. He's a multi-millionaire for killing a little nigga. The only thing that the victim's family get is a dead son and a headstone that Al Sharpton paid for. So they might give a couple of $100,000 on a wrongful death lawsuit, which Sharpton has already in the contract. The people being over emotional didn't read between the fine print. That Sharpton probably gets 60-70%. His lawyers get a third. Leaves the family with some pennies, like he did Eric Gardner's family and other families before. The Gardner family. So that's what happens. Because see, you real G's, you motherfuckers in the hood that always talk that shit, y'all on YouTube, y'all on Instagram, y'all on Facebook, showing you with all these goddamn choppers and all this shit and this money laying every motherfucking way, and, big bags of motherfucking weed and E-pills and all this shit. You keep it gangster. You all of it. You about that life. That's why they call me the life and all this old shit. And you'll kill everything up that look like you. But now this your opportunity to put in some work. Motherfucker. This your opportunity to put in some work. You got the money. You got the ammunition. You got the motherfucking weapons. Go to Budget or Enterprise and rent 2 or 3 goddamn 16-passenger vans and get all the G's up and ride down and let's put in some motherfucking work. Yeah, see, it'll get quiet just like it did just now. Because you motherfuckers ain't gonna do that. You'll make up some excuse. Oh, motherfucker wasn't related to me, or I ain't got nothing to do with that shit. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, right, you motherfucking punk. That shows that you just a goddamn coward and a punk ass nigga. You fake G ass nigga. Yeah, you'll go hard and spray motherfuckers that look like you. That shit don't count. Motherfuckers that tell the truth about you, put you on blast and put you out there. Pull your motherfucking bitch card. You'll go all out on them. The cracker killed one of your brothers. The pigs killed one of your brothers. All you do is just smoke more and get more weaker and weaker and weaker and softer and softer and softer. By each E-pill that you eat, each one of them white man's E-pills you eat, ecstasy, You know, let them E-pills fuck you in your ass, finger fuck you, you know. Oh, I feel so good. This a beautiful motherfucking day and all this. I love y'all brothers, man. You gorgeous and all. You fucking bitch. You know. But when it comes to that, putting that real work in, you ain't gonna be nowhere to be found. And so, you know, I'll return with some more information. We'll build again, you know. As always, thanking my subscribers. You know, Hotep, Black Power, love you all.